rises for the win from 29 from the right hash. Koo's kick is good. Here is Durant for the win. James for the win. It's gone. LeBron James at the buzzer.
It's our anniversary.
Stupid.
What?
Yeah, man. I looked on my Facebook memories, man. Today, a year ago today, we recorded our first episode of For the Win Vodcast. And
Yeah.
you know, ironically, we're doing the same exact episode a year later. We're doing Eastern Conference, Western Conference reserves in the NBA All-Star game.
That's crazy. That was the first episode.
That was, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the picture and all, like it was all today. So we're gonna jump in, give our thoughts, our reserves. We're gonna start with the Eastern Conference because I feel like that is easily the tougher conference to choose with. I'm gonna go last to start out. We're gonna start with Corey. So now to explain to everybody how the reserves work, there'll be 2 guards, 3 front court players, and then 2 players that are regardless of position. So 2 guards, 3 front court, 2 regardless of position. The Eastern starters were Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. So, Corey, let's hear your reserves.
All right. I'm gonna start off with guards in the East. I'm going with Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Halliburton. Jalen Brunson has changed the way the Knicks have played. My front court, I'm going with Embiid, which it's tough that he wasn't even a starter to begin with. Then I got Jaylen Brown and then Pascal Siakam. And then my 2 at large. This is the tricky ones. I'm gonna say DeMar DeRozan, and I'm probably gonna get some flack about this one, but I don't care. I'm gonna say Trae Young. I don't know. You could have put, yeah. Well, yeah. I'm gonna hold off.
Yeah, let's go through them and then we'll talk. So, Antoine, let's hear yours.
All right, man. So I got Embiid. I'll do the front court. I got Embiid, Siakam. 3 front court or 2 front court? 3?
It's 3 front court.
Okay, cool. And Jimmy Butler. Then I got backcourt. I got Brunson, and I got Trae. And then for the at large folks, I got Halliburton and give me Brown.
Jaylen Brown. Okay, this is interesting. All right, so for my backcourt,
make some notes here.
right. No, I got all the names typed up. For my backcourt, I got James Harden, or for at large, whatever. But I got James Harden and Jaylen Brown. 76ers are number 2 in the East, and I think I want to say James Harden is leading the league in assists, or he's second. Jaylen Brown is self-explanatory. I got Halliburton in there as well. So that's 2 of my backcourt and an at-large. My 3 front court, I got Joel Embiid. I got Julius Randle. And I got Bam Adebayo. And then my last selection, Darius Garland. of the Cleveland Cavaliers. So I snubbed Brunson because I was looking between Brunson and Garland, Garland's stats are better, and they played around the same games. DeRozan's on the Bulls, who've been kind of, not so great. I feel like they've underachieved. Same thing with Trae. I feel like the Hawks have underachieved. Jimmy, I couldn't get Jimmy on. I actually forgot about Pascal. That's how loaded the East was. It wasn't until you said something, but I feel like the Raptors have been disappointing as well, though his stats have been, superb. But I don't know. What do y'all think?
Well, first of all, I think the East, like, it's so many teams that have like been at average or like below average that this even makes it. This makes it even more difficult. Because like even with Jimmy Butler, I just feel like Jimmy Butler just hasn't played enough games for me. And then Julius Randle, I don't know. I mean, maybe
Julius is at 25 and 10.
I mean, the stats are there. Maybe I'm a little biased because I don't think he's that good. I think that's just me being biased with that one. But I mean, we kind of have around the same thing. And then Jalen Brunson, I mean, like I said before, like that has been the sole reason.
He's turned them around, yeah.
Yeah, he's turned them around. And I mean, it's kind of helped elevate Julius Randle in a sense because he doesn't have as much priorities to take care of anymore.
Yeah, he had a down year last year. See, with Brunson, I came in with the mindset like I'm putting Brunson in my, on my All-Star team, but I look at the stats, it's 22 and 6. I'm like, man, in the East there are guards demolishing that. If I'm not gonna put Trey Young, I can't put Jalen Brunson. You know what I'm saying? Antoine, you said something interesting earlier today about Trey Young and Halliburton that I want to dig into. What was it that you were saying?
I was kind of just talking noise, bro. Trey and Halliburton deserve it, bro. I feel like, but you put Garland in over Trey though.
I was rewarding team success.
Okay.
Because Halliburton and Trey.
I had to make sure. I was like, bro.
Yeah, Halliburton and Trey, they kind of got around the same stats.
You got around the same stats, bro. But when you said Garland, I was like,
recently, no, that's fair. That's fair because recently the Pacers have started to fall off. There was a point where they were like the 5 seed,
and he hasn't played it since.
But actually, he's like
January.
That actually kind of helps his argument because they were like the 5 seed when he was when he wasn't injured. They got hurt. And now like they're tanking, so like it kind of helps Halliburton. But I mean. We're not gonna make this a Trey episode, but go ahead.
Yeah, and then I gotta get my big man in there.
Yeah,
my man Vucevic.
Throwback.
Yeah, I love a good big man, right?
I love a good big man.
Hey, I like Vucevic, man.
Did you guys consider Drew Holiday at all?
I did. It was tough to get him in there, though.
It's tough to get him. I think it was between him or Jaylen Brown. I was like, Brown.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown, honestly, could have been a starter. Like, I think a lot of people had him as a starter. But voting is, we know the fan votes are terrible.
Yeah.
We know the players' votes, they're not taking it serious. Like, Chet Holmgren got like 4 or 5 votes. But some of the media members are kind of suspect too, man. I was listening to a podcast today. I'm not going to call her out, but she's on ESPN. She said, as a starter, she voted for Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that just doesn't make sense. Like, they need to strip you of your vote. That doesn't make sense. But
I feel like they should start doing that. Like when people come out and just make outlandish comments like that, I feel like it has to be like some board of directors to be like, look, we taking your vote. Sorry.
No, like that year that LeBron could have got a unanimous MVP, but somebody voted for Carmelo Anthony. Like that, I hope that guy.
Yeah, it was like one person.
I hope that he had his vote stripped. But we're gonna see an All-Star game with like between Jimmy, Bam, Trey, DeRozan, Randall, Brunson, Pascal. Like there are gonna be like 4 of those guys not in the All-Star game, and that's kind of crazy. And it's not like they've missed a whole lot of games.
Yeah.
I do think the media, there's always some media bias. I think they're going to try to get some new guys in there. And I do think they're going to punish guys for their teams underperforming. Like DeRozan and Trey, I think really might get hit over the head. I mean, we'll see. All right, let's move on to the Western Conference. West wasn't that hard for me. We'll see how it was for y'all. The starters are Steph, Luka, LeBron, Jokic, and Zion, who's played 29 games.
Nah.
Zion, who's played 29 games, is the starter. So for the reserves, we'll do Corey, then me, then Antoine. Corey, who do you have as your reserves in the Western Conference?
Well, first of all, I don't have Zion in my starters. And I possibly, if I sat here and thought about it a little bit longer, I probably don't have Zion in my reserves either. Just want to make that clear. First off, I'm gonna start with my front court. Larry Markkinen, I'm gonna say Paul George and Domantas Sabonis in my front court. My two guards, I got Ja and Dame Dollar, who just put up 60 the other night.
He did. He just tied Michael Jordan, 60-point games in their career.
Woo. And then my two at large, I got Anthony Edwards and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who I know I remember it now. I remember our episode last year. I wanted to put him in so bad, but because the team success wasn't there,
right?
Now that the team is a little bit better, I mean, you gotta put him in there. So that's what I got.
So I'm just gonna say mine, and then we'll discuss. All right. So in my backcourt, I got Shai Gilgeous, and I got Ja. My front court, I got Sabonis, I got Lauri Markkinen, I got Anthony Davis, who's averaging 27 and 12. Like, come on,
I don't care about that.
Okay.
And I mean, if Zion could get in, and then my I got Damian Lillard. I got Devin Booker.
Devin Booker ain't played either.
Devin Booker's played 20 games. He's played the same amount of games as Zion.
Jesus.
It kind of set the
with
bar.
AD, your whole you need 2 more picks to replace the people that's not gonna play.
I'm saying you're gonna have to redo them anyway.
These are my first. So like, I mean, I'll talk about my snubs afterwards. Go ahead, Antoine.
All right, man. What's be so funny? All right. So front court, I got Larry, I got Sabonis, and Paul George, PG. I wanted Kawhi, but Kawhi don't street clothes Kawhi as well. I'm not gonna be like Wilson and just put street clothes in there because they got some killer stats.
Okay, but no, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
All right, backcourt, I got I guess I got Shai and Ja. For the at-large folks, man, I got Dame and CJ. CJ got snubbed.
McCollum?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk Paul George. What makes y'all think Paul George should be an all-star this year?
I mean, the stats are there, bro. Like, what do you mean?
23, 6 and 5. I would put, and CJ's at 21 and 4. I would put De'Aaron Fox before I put Paul George.
Well, I do have De'Aaron Fox as my first snub.
Yeah, like so for me.
But again, I don't have people like AD, and it was somebody else you had in there.
I had Booker.
Booker. Yeah, I don't have those two only, and it's simply only because they, like I said, they haven't played enough games.
Yeah, they're at like 30 games. Most people are at 40.
Yeah,
I didn't have Paul George at all. That's why I was interested. Because I put, like I said, I put Book and AD in because Zion. If Zion can start at 29 games, Book, who's averaging,
anybody can start at 20.
No, I'm just saying, like, if Book was averaging 27, 28 points a game, and the Suns were number 1 seed before he got hurt, or number 2 or whatever, I put him in it. But also, I mean, I'm a Devin Booker guy.
And I mean, Paul George has kept the Clippers afloat, even with street clothes Kawhi being out.
I mean, yeah,
they are fourth in the West.
I think Paul George has missed a lot of games too. Nowhere near as much as Kawhi. I haven't been impressed by Paul George this year. Like, I don't think at any point this year I've been like, yo, Paul George is like balling. Like, I feel like he's for 23 and 5. Like that's not great for Paul George, in my opinion. Like, I feel I would reward De'Aaron Fox before I put Paul George in there. And I would put Anthony Edwards in there. Those are my two snubs, and honestly, those are my two that I would put in if a games count played situation happens with Book or AD. I would put Fox or Ant. I also considered Aaron Gordon.
I considered him too. Yeah,
I consider him, but DJ.
Yeah,
so who did you snub, Antoine? You snubbed Ant.
Yeah, and bro, I'm amending my pick, bro. Now I feel bad, bro. I'll put De'Aaron over CJ, bro.
Yeah, De'Aaron. I mean, the Kings are a great story. They're probably gonna end up as a nice 3 or 4 seed and lose in the first round.
Yeah, they're gonna get bounced in the first round though.
Because they're gonna end up facing like the Suns or the Warriors. Like there's so many, experienced teams in the lower part of the conference. But Shea probably should have been starting.
But who would you take out? If Shea was starting, you gotta take somebody out.
It just felt good to say, but now when you when you put it,
I know a lot. You would have to. You would probably have to take Steph. No, you can't take Luke out.
That's what I'm saying. Who you gonna take? You gotta be Steph.
But if you look at Steph's numbers, like they're better. Steph. Let me see how many games Steph has played. Steph is at 35, which is on the lower end, but it's still more than like Zion or Devin Booker.
And then for me, I would just adjust the rules and take Zion out and put Shea in.
Yeah. So now when we
that's gonna happen.
Not gonna play. Like Book probably won't play. AD probably won't play. I mean, I'm not sure they'll even make it. But that'll open up the door for Ant and De'Aaron Fox. In the East, there's going to be – they could have 2 or 3 replacement players, and there'll still be, like, some serious snubs. Like,
right.
Did y'all consider James Harden?
Yeah. I mean –
I did it.
I did.
Mm-hmm. Now, go ahead, Corey.
I wouldn't say I necessarily forgot about him, but for me, it's like Embiid or bust.
Mm-hmm.
With the 76ers, especially watching Embiid just totally demolish the Nuggets the other night. What do you have, like 47 points?
Yeah, 47. He just took over the MVP race in my mind. Ooh. And I was on Jokic, but it's gonna be hard to forget that I saw that. Like,
yeah. Versus the MVP. Yeah.
That's a conversation for another day.
Those are our picks.
Hey, I do like, but I do like the new edit they're doing to the All-Star game. Now it's like a pickup game. So it's like,
on
I
the
choose
spot,
you,
right?
On, you know what I'm saying?
So
street ball.
Pretty dope. I think it's a super dope.
Do you think that's going to be like authentic?
Ball, yeah, I think it's dope.
Or do you think they'll like tell people in advance what they want to do? Like,
I don't know, man. I hope it's authentic. I just remember back when KD had to pick James Harden or not James.
No, he ended up picking up Gobert, I think, over James Harden. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So if we get in a situation like, it's not, we're going to beef like that this year, but that year though,
you know right? It would have been, it would have been because
logistics wise, they probably gonna have to do it like 30 minutes before tip off. I mean, because people got to get changed and all that.
You're right.
Work out some type of strategy. Even though it is an All-Star game, but you do kind of want to work out some type of strategy and playing time and all that type of stuff. So.
You're right, because you do have to plan playing time, and that is a lot to put together at the last minute.
Yeah. So I don't know how last minute is actually going to be.
Because they usually the day before they usually have their open practice that we watch where like one team's on one side, one's on it. So I'm interested how that's going to look as well.
And I want to know, are there? I made free fall. So are they going to have like front court, back court? Like you have to pick a certain number of.
I mean, Usually you pick from the starters, and then from there you just pick whoever you got. So if you end up not getting enough bigs, you're just out of luck, you out of gas. So
now, granted, I mean it's not like we have a bunch of bigs that are all-stars anyways, especially in the day of positionless basketball. Mm-hmm. So you don't really have to deal with bigs too much. As long as you get at least like a Embiid on your team and it's a bonus, at least get one of them. You should be fine.
I will say I challenge everyone because the All-Star game's always been like, it's the All-Star game. They don't play that hard. But I challenge everyone to like just go back and watch highlights from like 2008 and prior than that. Like, it'll shock you how hard they were playing then compared to now.
Yeah.
Like, it'll really like they were playing defense at some point in the game. Last year was one of the most entertaining, All-Star games I've ever seen. But that was because of Steph. Like,
Yeah.
He just nuts. Without that, I'm not sure I would have enjoyed the All-Star game. So we'll see how things go. We'll find out who the reserves are this Thursday on TNT. Those are ours. Appreciate you, gentlemen, once again, and happy anniversary. Until next time.
Happy 1 year.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for joining us on the For the Win Vodcast.
Make sure you follow us on IG at For the Win Vodcast, on YouTube at For the Win, on Apple Music, on Spotify. We are everywhere.
For the win. And we out.
Peace.
Yes, sir.